What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. This is the final and fourth silo from the Adler brand that I have not reviewed yet. I need to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. It is the Jarumakan. Please correct me in the comments if I haven't pronounced that correctly. But it is the final product from the Adler lineup that I haven't done yet. It is their classic football boot. So in the same way that the Morelia 2 for Japan, the Morelia 2 for the Made in Japan line of Mizuno products is this, the Jarumakan, is the classic leather football boot for the Adler brand. So let's hop straight into it. So Adler unboxings are stunning. You guys have probably seen so many of them so far from my brand. I love the way that they do the Adler signage on the boot box, as well as their logo here. And then here you go. So you can barely see it here, but it's spelled Jarumakan, Jarumakan. I am trying to pronounce it as best I can. I got these in a US 8, which is a full size down from my normal size 9. It's a UK 7, a Euro 40.5, and a Japan 26 centimeters. In, of course, the red colorway, which is by far, I think, their best color. The white looks amazing as well, but that remains to be said from a personal perspective. All right, here we go. So in Adler fashion, you get a little piece of paper that's got a really nice message. I'll see if I can put the translation up on screen for you guys. Really, really nice from the Adler brand, a nice kind of like thank you note basically. And then you get a little Instagram QR code and stuff for the Realign inserts, which are a brand that Adler partners with to do a set of custom insoles for each boot size and each boot of their boots. So these are a really nice pair of insoles. I have yet to use them actually in one of the Adler products just because I prefer to be a little bit lower to the ground. But for those of you who struggle with collapsing arches or need a little bit of extra support in the midfoot, the amount of padding in this is so nice, and it really has this wonderful kind of suede texture to it and a lot of support through that midfoot. So a really nice feature to have if you are somebody who wants a little bit of extra support there. And then this is their gorgeous string bag. I'm not going to do an unboxing of this because I've done it 100 times before and I want to keep these in the package. But this is a lovely canvas bag with a hand-stitched Adler logo on one of the bottom sides. I think it's right here underneath this piece of paper, but really, really nice quality, incredible, incredible unboxing experience and quality from the Adler brand. They really do a nice job of getting all of the details right as far as their unboxing, presentation, and experience. So here we go with the Jarumakan. Boom. All right, there we go. Classic. Look how wide those look. That is insane. Okay, so these are, as I said before, the Jarumakan. I'll spell it again for you guys up on screen. These are known as Adler's classic leather boots. So this is I think either their original football boot or it's like one of their, I think it was their first one, I believe. And it is a fully K-leather forefoot with a synthetic midfoot and heel area. So a very similar construction to what we see on a lot of modern silos nowadays, the 99-gram leather. You have a lot of the Asics products do this as well, the Mizuno, Morelia, Neo lines. You can see this stitching that goes right here under the Adler logo on that side and then right under the logo here. And this is the same synthetic that you get from the Yamatokyo. So it's a synthetic leather. So you've got a nice amount of that synthetic material here. And then of course you've got the super premium K-leather forefoot area, which is just buttery soft. It is a little bit, it's noticeably thicker than both the Horenzo and the Yatagarasu. So that's something to keep in mind as you're looking to pick up a pair of Adler football boots. If you want, you can go with the Yamatokyo, which is all of basically a synthetic leather version of the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is like one of their lighter weight, beautiful all leather football boots. And then of course the Horenzo is their ultra lightweight all leather football boots as well. So regardless of what you're looking for, this kind of is that hybrid model and their original OG classic leather football boot. So a little bit thicker though than some of the other models. That might just be because of the volume of stitching in this forefoot. The other models that they have don't have so many stitching lines. That could just be to give a much more locked in sensation variation in the forefoot, I'm not really sure. But you've got the features of a lot of, I guess, all of the other boots as well. So I'm actually going to open up this one and get the box out of the way just so you guys can get a good look at both of these football boots. So we'll do that. There we go. All right, so inside this lacing system, so these are the Itogo lacing systems, or Itogo lacing. So these are the brand, yet another brand that Adler partners with to make just another feature of this boot stand out. Instead of producing their own laces or getting some crap laces, they go with these Itogo laces that are a really unique braided pattern that allow for a really, really solid grip as you tie the laces tight. Once you've tied the laces, whether it's a single knot or a double knot, these are just exceptional in the way that they basically do not allow your foot to come out or the laces to come undone. They are really, truly sensational. I think more brands should partner with Itogo because they are exceptionally high quality. They've never ripped on me. They've never done any, they've never come undone as well, and are just a really nice feature that just elevates the way that all of the Adler products operate on pitch and on feet. So inside, this particular model actually doesn't have the Carvo insert. And we'll go into a camera that goes inside the boot in just a minute, but these are the classic leather football boots, leather and synthetic, and they just come with a shank that you can kind of see. I hope you can see the discoloration. I can see it with my eyes. I'll try to mess with the contrast of the video, but you might be able to see it. But there's a shank that runs basically from here to here, and it's a really strict thing, a shank that basically allows the midfoot to be super, super solid. So some brands will do the shank, some brands will actually make this part of the sole plate itself, so this red sole plate with the stud patterns, they'll make that kind of the unflexible part of the football boot. But for the most part, because all of Adler's sole plates are the same across all of their football boots, they do have either the Carvo or the shank, or a combination of both, with this kind of leather, this like off-white, teal blue kind of leather coating that goes along the bottom as well. So it isn't Carvo, unfortunately, but you do get that midfoot shank for lots of energy return. And as you can see, it's got a really decent amount of snapback as well, which is awesome. How cool would it be, by the way, if they did like a tongue like that, make it look like almost like a OG Predator or something? That would be sick. So that's kind of it for the tech specs. You do get a slightly different heel area. They do have black instead of a white on the leather, the red model. So all the red models that I have from the Yatagarasu, the Horenzo, and the Yamatokyo all have a white kind of suede, micro suede interior. This is obviously black to match the underside of this tongue area. So adds just a little bit of a different dimension compared to those other red models. But overall, I think this football boot is a really nice package in hand. I haven't tried these on yet, but we'll go into that in just a second. I do think this is a nice package. It is noticeably heavier than the other models that they produce. So that is something, if you're looking for the classic look and feel, these might be the way you go. Or if you're looking for something that's fully kangaroo leather, you've got the Yatagarasu and the Horenzo, and then the Yamatokyo is the Yatagarasu, but all synthetic leather in a way that's actually a little bit lighter than this model. So this is an interesting package. I am curious to see if you get the benefits of the leather forefoot and the lockdown of a synthetic leather in the midfoot. I'm really excited kind of by that proposition. That might make this particular model the best performer out of all of those, even if the touch isn't as premium and blah, blah, blah. But as far as an overall package, this is a really nice looking pair of football boots. I do really like, they don't do this on the other models, but I do really like that they've put the Adler logos on the medial and the lateral sides. I think it makes it look more elegant and more classic. And yes, it doesn't stand out as much because the other ones don't have logoing at all, so it looks absolutely insane. People are like, what are those? Those are incredible looking. But with the logoing, I think it does add a little bit of dynamic texturing to the upper. So I don't know, something to think about for Adler moving into the future as well. Without further ado, let's hop into the inside camera view, and we'll talk a little bit about technology if there is any, to note on the inside of this football boot, and then we'll hop straight into the on-feet portion of the video where we'll get a sense of sizing and all that stuff as well. Let's hop into it. Okay fam, here we are with the Adler Jarumakan. There's some beautiful detailing here with the Adler Pride of Japan stitched into the tongue here. We got the probe lens, so let's use it. Here we go. So getting the insole out, and then immediately you can see there's no carvo in the bottom, which is kind of a bummer because I think this boot could be something really nice for a lot of people. There is the Adler logoing on, you can see the double layer of, kind of as I pull it, double layer of that insole or insert there, Adler logoing, and then that's kind of the material that you're working with. It's like a very, very soft and cushy mesh material. So moving on to the boot themselves, really nice. Again, this one is all leather up until that stitch point right there. And then you've got the synthetic leather from the Yamatokyo on basically everything from here back. Really nice detailing there in the stitched on logo. And you've also got the Itogo laces. So there's that up close as well of the Itogo laces, a really nice feature, partnering with a company that does laces better than anything else I've seen on the market. If you guys know of a lacing company that has the durability and the non-slip of these, let me know. All right, so let's turn the boots around and we'll take a look on the inside of the football boots. You've also got a cool technology here. So if you can see where the synthetic leather of the tongue is now stitched into that black mesh material, this is a material that made by a company called Cambrel, and basically what this does is this allows your foot to breathe inside the boot and is sort of like a heat management system for the inside of the football boot, which is pretty cool. Really nice on display there. This is actually white on the other three models that Adler has. This just happens to be a black version of the same material there, so really nice detailing. And then as we move into the inside, you've got a nice little micro suede liner there, and then as we move in, you can see where the midfoot shank is stitched into the bottom there. And then as we move forward, you've got some hand stitching there, and then some different stitching material and colors on the inside with that black mesh liner. So very cool. I'll try to keep my hands steady as I move the boots into the probe lens, or the probe lens into the boots. And then there you go. So that's that front area. You can see the other hand stitched piece there as well. Really nice. So tied the knot, if you will. But lovely, lovely inside. I think the quality looks exceptional here on the inside. Obviously, Adler build quality is definitely something to write home about. Really nice there, and there's a good look at the inside of the football boots. Unfortunately, no carvo in this one. That's probably because this is their classic football boot. This is like the most basic model that they sell. The sole plate is the same. You can see the stitching pattern there on the outside of the boot that pulls together the leather, the internal liner, and then of course the sole plate itself as well. So nice on the inside. We'll take one more look there, and you can see the Cambrel material there on the top of the inside of the tongue, and then the stitching detail with that synthetic material, synthetic liner that's stitched into the bottom there as well. So really nice. Again, no complaints other than the lack of carvo. I wish they had carvo in this one. I think that would make this boot pretty nice. And then of course the detailing there on the side with the combination. Now you can really see the difference between the normal leather and the synthetic leather. So you can see that difference there on either side of the stitching pattern. Let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video. We'll talk about how the sizing is like with this particular Adler model, and how it feels on feet with the touch and all that. Here we go. All right, fam, here we are out at the pitch with the Jarumakan, which is the really nice looking, I think, leather and synthetic version of Adler's football lineup. So let's hop straight into this on-feet portion. I've folded over the tongue just because I think it kind of looks dope. I think, oh, how cool would it be if they made like a like a boot like that. I am a huge fan of the Adler logoing here on the side. I think it adds a little bit of something. And I think this multi kind of crazy spider web pattern in the front looks really nice. Look how wide those shoes are. Like, that is crazy how wide those are straight out of the box. So I'm hoping that the sizing is correct as well, because they do look a little bit shorter than the other boots in Adler's lineup. But let's go ahead and boom. Wow. Super nice. My toes are a bit cramped here on the front, so if you are somebody who doesn't like super tight football boots, I would probably recommend going a half a size down. These are a full size down on me, so we'll see kind of how these fit over time. But as far as width goes, straight out of the box, very, very nice. Other complaint I would say is that they don't have a runner's knot on this boot, although their last stitch does go a little bit higher or lower, I guess, than the other models. The Horenzo is the one that I probably would poke a hole in it for myself, just because. But there you go. That's a look at what the Jarumakan looks like. Very, very comfortable football boots. Again, my toes are right up on the end, so I'm still kind of debating. As we move forward in this review, I'll kind of talk about how they're breaking in already as I, continue to wear them and stuff. But maybe my left foot's a little bit longer, because these fit pretty much fine. I mean, my toe is right on the end there, but I don't know. We'll see. One thing that I do really like about these boots, though, is how deep, this lacing system goes all the way down to basically the knuckle of my toes, which is pretty impressive. And it's a really wide lacing system too. That synthetic tongue does a nice job of keeping center. One of the things they do really well is have the 2 different lace holes for the tongue insert, which is a great idea for any brand, because it just does keep the tongue in a pretty neutral area, which is awesome. So lace these up, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jarumakan on feet. I will say that these fit very, very well. Similar to all the other Adler products straight out of the box, I think the Yatagarasu is definitely the one that fits the most plush feeling straight out of the box. I would say that these with the leather forefoot are super nice, although they do fit a little bit more clunky. And I'm using that word really lightly. I would say they don't feel super clunky on feet, but they just are a little bit more high volume than any of the other products, especially because the anything from here back is all synthetic leather, which actually might play to the advantage of the wearer, because you're going to get a little bit of extra lockdown and no overstretching in that midfoot and heel area, which is really nice. Heel area, similar to all the other Adler products, is really nice. I am getting a little bit of slippage and a little bit of pressure point right here. I don't know if that's because these are constructed differently or whether it's just the way that this particular boot feels. But again, overall, really, really nice. I don't really notice the lack of Carvo insert. I would say as I start to move around, maybe I'd feel it. I guess when I flex my feet like that and I'm kind of up on my toes, I do feel a little bit lackluster as far as kind of responsiveness of the sole plate goes, but that remains to be said from a testing perspective once we get that going. So here you go. Here's a look at what the Jarumakan looks like on feet. I would say that these are another great option. This is their classic boot, so this is sort of their just like generic classic football boot. I would say that these kind of line up probably at the bottom for me of all of their models. I would say that I am and that's even with these being a very high standard. I think most people would slide into these and be like, these are fantastic. And I think these are really good. Just from, if I had to stack up all the Adler boots, that's kind of, I would put them at the bottom of the list. But they still are really, really comfortable. So no complaints there. I'm excited to continue to break them in a little bit. I do have a little bit of pressure on the tip of my toes. That's probably because I like my boots really tight. These are a full size down, which is totally normal for Adler boots just in general. But I imagine that I'm hoping that these are going to break in just fine, especially with that leather. Touch on the ball is pretty plush, I would say, really nice. It's a little bit disconnected in the midfoot with that synthetic material, just because it is a little bit thicker than what you'll find on the Yamatokyo. But overall, these are super, super nice. I would say if you're looking for a classic football boot that's definitely different. You're not gonna have anyone else on the pitch probably, unless you live in Japan, that actually wears these or even knows what they are or even has heard of Adler. Would highly recommend these. They come in white, black, and red. And so you're pretty much set as far as who has the most unique football boots on your team. So would definitely recommend if you're looking for them. I think these come in, if you do the US conversion on their website, I think they come in around like 130, 140 bucks, which for me is kind of a joke. I mean, that's for the quality and, you know, for the handcrafted quality and build and all that stuff that you're getting with a boot like this. I really think it's hard to beat. And there's wiggling my toes. Again, a little bit stiffer. It is I think their like lowest end product, I would say. That's how I would judge this boot. But again, you're talking about a boot that's handcrafted in Japan and still has the insanely soft leather in the forefoot, that K leather in the forefoot. So really, really nice. It does share the sole plate with the other boots in each of the other boot families and boot silos. So you are gonna have quite a bit of similarity from a traction perspective if you're used to one of the other models. But overall, honestly, great product. I think these are gonna be a smash hit for anybody who does wanna enjoy a pair of these. They're just not my personal favorite from the Adler brand. So that's kind of it, I guess. I would say that these are gonna be a great option for a lot of people. Good ball feel, again, underfoot, but you guys can make that decision for yourself of which one you would go for. My personal recommendation is Yatagarasu is first for me. I would say very close second, just because it's the same boot but synthetic, is the Yamatokyo. The Horenzo is third, and then these are fourth. So, but honestly, quality standard for what you're getting in a made in Japan quality product. So I will leave the other boot that has synthetic on it, the Yamatokyo. These are the Jarumakan. I'm like trying to get these names correctly. I will leave the Yamatokyo review right here. These will probably this will be the last of the Adler reviews that I'll be doing all in red. I'll do a major comparison video and all that stuff as well, but that will, the link will be right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you for being here. If you guys do want programs on my website, they are totally free, in-season, off-season workout programs, phases 1 through 4, so you get a ton of value, all for free. You just go to my website and you can download them straight from there. So as always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.